G'day everyone. If you look behind me now, you'll see that the river is quite high and quite dirty. All of the rivers and waterways in the region are still high and off colour following last week's deluge of rain that you would have seen in my flooded Tarrawingi video. This is probably the pick of the crop. It's high, it's off colour, but it's not putrid and it's not flooded, so it's fishable, but more so with bait. So today I've come out here to do a little bit of bait fishing, and I'm going to be using cheese for bait. There's a lot of misconceptions about using cheese for bait for Murray cod. In this video, I'm going to teach you what sort of cheese I like to use, what rigs I like to use. I'm going to run you through my rod and reel setups that I'm using, and hopefully we can catch a Murray cod. Well, now the first rod that I'm putting in is this rod. It was custom made for me back in the late 1980s by Kevin Law in Wangaratta. Old Grumpy Law, we used to call him. It's got a reasonably cheap Daiwa Regal reel on it that's probably 20 or 25 years old. I'm not using state-of-the-art top range products for this because they're just going to be sitting in the sand. You make one cast and they might sit there for an hour. I've got quite a big sinker, although I've got a funny feeling I'm going to need to change this rig and put a bigger sinker on because that water is really nanging through there, and I know that it's about 6 feet out there or 7 feet when the river's low. So there's probably 8 or 9 feet of water out there with that current. It's going to create quite a lot of drag. I'll try this for now and see how it goes. And if I need to, I'll upsize my sinker later to something bigger. I like to use the smaller sinker I can get away with. Now I'm using this. This is actually one of those black magic hooks. It's got the non-slip stuff on it. I'm using that, and I don't know what size you call that. That big, reasonably big. Is that an official size? Now, some cheese. I'm fishing with cheese. This is mozzarella cheese. I got one of those little funny shaped knobs of mozzarella earlier, and I cut it up. Now, because I'm using the Paternoster rig, which has got the loop off the side and the sinker on the bottom, and the line is just looped over the hook, what I can do is I can push that line through like that and create a bit of slack. And what I can then do then is hook that slack over the corner of the cheese, and that can help hold my cheese on the hook. Like that. That can actually help hold the cheese on the hook. Rightio, 2 bits of cheese is about all I'm going to get on that hook. I think the cocky's only just worked out now that I'm sitting here. The area that I want to fish, and I know this because I've been here with my deeper fish finder, is out the front of that log. There's heaps of snags there. There's a big log that runs across there, but out the front there that's about 6 or 7 feet, at the moment probably 8 or 9 feet. There's a bit of a log jam there, and there's a couple of logs in front of it. So thanks to my deeper, I sort of know this waterway pretty well. I want to try and get close to the snags without actually catching the snags. That's in a great spot, but I suspect it's going to end up down there somewhere in this current, in which case I may need to go for a larger sinker, but we'll just try that and see how we go. I'm just re-rigging because I want to use a bigger sinker. I'm going with this anchor sized sinker, but look at that. Did I mention just how sharp these black magic hooks are? Ouch. Right, now this is my second outfit. This is the rod that I've nicknamed the sawn off because I sawn the butt off it. You would have seen me catch a big carp on this 2 or 3 months ago, I suppose, in a video I called Carp Fishing with a Sawn Off. I've got the exact same rig, although you'll notice that I've got a walloping great big sinker. I have to say this big sinker is really outside my comfort zone. It is way too big. I don't want to use one that big. But I'm casting this upstream of this other one. I don't want the current to push this into that one. So if this upstream sinker is heavier than the downstream sinker, then theoretically it shouldn't be washed into that. I also want to try and keep it in that deeper area over there without the current washing it away. I've got a couple of bits of mozzarella cheese. It's got a cheapish Shakespeare reel on it. Once again, nothing fancy. The sawn off. Can I go cod fishing with the sawn off? Now, cheese is a funny bait because you've got to be really careful that it falls off the hook easily. So you don't want to lob it right up high, then have it come down crashing to the water. You want to try and just gently underarm lob it like that, just to get it over where you want it. And that's on the bottom. Let's just hope it holds in that area. With a sinker that size, I don't think that's going to go too far. So I've got 2 rods in, both baited up with cheese. When I'm bait fishing, I reckon I probably concentrate on the tips of my rods more than anyone else I know. I actually find it hard just to run my eyes upstream and look around too much. I'll sit here, I'll look over there, look back, look over there, look back. I really hate taking my eyes off my rod. A big Murray cod or even a carp can pull either of those rods into the river in a heartbeat. So what I do when I go fishing with cheese, I cut my cheese up before I come out. You'll see that. And even right now while I'm showing you this, I'm not looking at the cheese, I'm looking at my rod tips. I'll cut it up into these little sort of squares, sort of centimetre square, or a little bit bigger size, ready to go, so that when I'm out here I don't have to take my concentration away from what I'm doing to cut up my cheese on the bank of the river. I do it at home and bring it out in a Ziploc bag. The other half of the mozzarella cheese block is in the fridge at home. So there's a tip if you are fishing with cheese. Also, I like mozzarella cheese. Tasty cheese works every bit as well, if not better. The problem is it crumbles on the hook a lot easier. I find mozzarella cheese just sticks on the hook a little bit better. In saying that, the other day I got a message off somebody that bought mozzarella on my advice and then come back to me and said they had to go and buy Tasty because they couldn't keep the mozzarella on the cheese, on the hook. It could be to do with air temperature or what, I don't know. Each to their own, but the way I do it, I prefer mozzarella because I find that it just clings onto the hook a little bit better. One thing about fishing with cheese is that you should always make sure you check your bait every once in a while, because the cheese can come off when you cast it, and after a while the current can just push it off like that. A tiny little bit of cheese on there. So just every once in a while just check your cheese if you're not getting any bites, because it doesn't stay on there forever. Oops, that's too far across. This there might be okay. That should drop down right in front of all them logs. Lots of logs over there. Oh, there's a fish on there. Got him. As soon as it hit the bottom. As soon as it hit the bottom. I was just reeling in the slack, and next thing you know, the rod started pulling. How's that? Oh, it's a lovely Murray cod. How's that? I said that's a little bit too far, so I reeled it in a little bit, let it sink in front of the logs. I was putting the rod down in the rod holder, and then as soon as I ran in the slack, the rod started pulling, and I've got this lovely Murray cod. Right, little fella, off you go. Oh, you're going the wrong way, silly. Back in the drink. There you go. There, he's got his bearings about him. Off he goes. He was a bit confused there for a minute. He went the wrong way. He just either that or he really liked me. Now, something I do want to talk to you about is that a lot of people have got this misconception that Murray cod shouldn't eat cheese because it kills them, because it doesn't exist naturally in their environment anyway. Last year there was a photo of a dead Murray cod on Facebook. Somebody had gutted it and they'd found a heap of cheese in its stomach, and they were complaining about how bad the cheese is for the fish. Now, the first thing that sprung to my mind when I saw that photo was the cheese has got to be better for the fish than what the fisherman was, because the fisherman actually killed the fish. But seriously, I'm not a believer of that concept that cheese is bad. These Murray cod, they'll eat and regurgitate mussels, golf balls, anything else. I've even heard of one being caught with a leg of lamb in its stomach, just a bone off a leg of lamb found in its stomach years ago. They will eat anything and they can regurgitate anything. So if they want to spit the cheese out, they've got every right to do it. Quite often they probably pick up rocks and stuff as well by mistake when they're feeding on other things, and they can regurgitate them just like they can the cheese if they wish to. And secondly, in the summer, if you walk along the banks of the Ovens River in Wangaratta, along the walking track there is people fishing along the bank everywhere. 90% of them are using cheese. They're all catching fish. On any given night in the summer months, particularly around Christmas when there's lots of tourism in town, there will be people catching numerous amounts of Murray cod along the riverbank. There could be 100 cod caught in an evening, no worries at all. Most of them on cheese. And you don't find dead fish floating everywhere when you're walking the banks. That tells me something. I'm not a believer of the nasty rumours that come floating around with the cheese. That was actually brought up at last year's Murray Conference in Shepparton in 2017, and Fisheries Departments even said themselves there's been no conclusive surveys done saying that cheese is bad, and at this stage there's no problems at all with people using it. So unless it's proven otherwise, for now, cheese gets the green light from me, and it's a great bait. Right, I'm putting this rod back in. I've just reeled this in to check the bait, and the bait was gone, so I'm putting it back out. I'm going to go a bit further down to the left this time. I just try a different spot, but from the same spot, if that makes sense. These big sinkers that I'm using, these are the big ones that I put on earlier because of the current. These were actually sent to me by a fan of mine. Nick Ryko sent me these probably 3 or 4 months ago. If you happen to be watching, Nick, thanks for the sinkers. They're working a treat in this high, faster water. Now, Nick's just started making Murray cod lures, and he's got an Instagram page. Go and check him out. It's called Muzzy Lures. Muzzy Lures on Instagram. Thanks for the sinkers, Nick. Let's hope they can help catch me another Murray cod. Getting a bite on the cheese here. Take it, take it, take it. You know you want it. It's only a small bite for a bit of cheese. Got him. Ooh. Oh, there is wrapped me around a snag. He has too. Bugger. Come on, swim off the snag. Bugger. Oh, they just pulled. He's still there. Ah, wouldn't that annoy you? I got a nice bite. I hooked him. He actually felt bigger than I thought. By the bite, I didn't think it was very big. But then I felt a bit of weight, but then he took me straight into the snags. Right now, I wish I was using this rod because it's got the 50-pound braid on it. I'm going to have to break this line. This is only about 12-pound mono. Alright, I'm going to have to hope it comes off, but I don't think it's going to. No, it came off. It came off. I actually got it off. And I've still got the fish. That was, luck was on my side with that one, I can tell you. What's going on here? Why does he feel so heavy? Have I hooked him in the side or something? Here he comes. Lovely little Murray cod. Right, I'm going to get the feisty little Murray cod. Might have grabbed me fish grips. A bit of a drama before that last one. I'll grab my fish grips. There we have it. Only a small little Murray cod. Hang on, it's a bit tangled. Only a small little Murray cod, probably around 35cm mark, nice and fat, very healthy little fish. That's 2 cod caught on cheese, you ripper. Rightio, little fella. Got me gumboots on this time so I can swim out a bit further. Off you go. There he goes. You little ripper. Rightio folks, thanks very much for watching. I hope you've got something out of this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've landed on this video as a search result when you're searching how to catch Murray cod on cheese or Murray cod fishing with cheese or something similar, then I hope you found this video informative and I hope you've learnt from it. The idea of these types of videos isn't to tell you how to do it or ram down your throat the right way to do it, because one of the great things about fishing is there's no right and wrong way. The only wrong way to do it is to do it a way that you don't feel comfortable because somebody else is telling you to do so. The right way to do it is the way that you think is right in your heart. The way that I'm telling you to do it or showing you to do it in this video is the way that I do it. This is how I do it. It doesn't make it right or wrong. It works for me and it gives you the opportunity to copy me, do what I'm doing, get a few runs on the board, learn the basics about Murray cod fishing, and from there you might go off and do things totally differently, and that's fine. This is just the starting point for you. So if you've landed on this video after searching for Murray cod fishing of some description, I hope you found it informative. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you've liked this video. Leave a comment and subscribe to my channel because I upload videos recently, and I'll see you in the next video. Recently? I upload videos regularly, and I'll see you in the next video.